China has expanded its rare earth export control in October 2025, thus imposing stricter licensing requirements on export of certain rare earth minerals and related processing technologies. Citing national security concerns, Beijing's move primarily targets the global defense and semiconductor industries, which heavily rely on rare earths for advanced technology.
China has again weaponized trade, this time by tightening controls on rare earth exports critical to defense and semiconductor manufacturing. Beijing's new export restrictions come just ahead of a major diplomatic summit, signaling how strategic materials have become a bargaining chip in global geopolitics. For India, which imports most of its rare earths through indirect routes, the challenge is urgent to develop domestic extrication, recycling, and joint ventures with nations like Australia and Vietnam.
China has fired another shot in the global technology war, tightening control over the rare earths that power everything, from smartphones and electric vehicles to missiles and fighter jets. The new regulations announced by Beijing have sent shockwaves through the defense and semiconductor industries.
Beijing has expanded its export control list, adding 5 new rare earth elements, bringing the total to 12. The restrictions don't just cover raw materials, they also target technologies used in mining, refining, magnet manufacturing, and recycling. Any company using Chinese technology in these areas must now obtain an export license. Even foreign firms using Chinese origin technology or materials outside of China fall under the new control regime. In effect, Beijing is exporting its regulations worldwide. And when it comes to defense or advanced chip making, approvals will be rare, literally. The Chinese Commerce Ministry says export license will be in principle be denied for overseas defense contractors and scrutinized for semiconductor firms making sub-14 nanometer chips.
How China will enforce these rules on foreign companies remains unclear, but non-compliance could mean being cut off from Chinese suppliers altogether. The uncertainty alone is enough to rattle global supply chains.
As the world's largest rare earth producer, China's move is disrupting production across sectors: electronics, electric vehicles, wind turbines, and defense systems. Analysts see this as more than a trade ploy. It's a bargaining chip ahead of the expected Xi-Trump summit. By squeezing rare earth exports, Beijing gains leverage in global negotiations. The fallout could be costly. Semiconductor giants like TSMC may face delays of 1 to 2 quarters due to materials shortages. And as companies scramble for alternatives, the prices for chips, magnets, and defense-grade components are set to rise. The United States and its allies are now accelerating their plans to build domestic rare earth supply chains from Australia to Africa to break Beijing's monopoly. For India, which still imports most of its rare earth magnets from China, the challenge is urgent. Building indigenous capacity is not just an economic goal, it's a national security imperative.
By controlling the flow of these minerals, China is effectively controlling the pace of global innovation and the pulse of modern warfare. In this strategic game, the next arms race may not be fought with weapons, but with metals. As global powers pivot to mineral self-reliance, the real battlefield of 21st century may not lie in the oceans or skies, but underground.